Welcome to a special edition of News from the Den. I'm Lauren.
And I'm Jen. You just saw a video about our school and several of its award-winning programs. We're here to talk to you about the environmental program.
At Winter Springs High School, every attempt is made to integrate curriculum and classes from different disciplines. This news clip shows how art, English, social studies, and environmental science were integrated to address a real issue in the Florida legislature.
It may not be something that you think about very often, our state bird. Many of us don't even know which bird has that honor.
Now, I just learned it's the mockingbird, but there is a movement on the wing to dethrone the mockingbird and replace it with another feathered friend. This week's News Channel 2 Good Kids say the scrub jay deserves the honor. The Florida scrub jay is in danger of losing much of its habitat, but it continues to gain more friends.
Just want to thank you for your wonderful effort.
The group Friends of the Scrub Jay presents Winter Springs High School students a gift for their help in promoting the effort to change the scrub jay to the official Florida state bird.
Oh, wow, that's really good.
The Florida scrub jay has very unique habitats.
The environmental sciences and English students joined forces and put together a PowerPoint computer presentation on why the scrub jay deserves the stately honor.
And the other teenager birds help raise the babies.
They gave up their spring break and traveled to Tallahassee to address the legislature. They won the support of 8 senators and passed the measure in a Senate committee.
They were impressed at the fact that a group of students would take the time to come up and testify on a particular piece of legislation, do a lot of study on it, and make a very good presentation. And so because of that, they won their vote.
The measure stalled in the House and never made it to the Senate floor, but Senator Webster says most pieces of legislation don't make it their first time out, and he encourages them to try again.
Who would have thought that it would have turned out like something like this? It's very neat, and it's something you could be proud of, you know, to think that it just started out with writing a letter and then look how far we got it.
Making the Florida scrub jay the state bird has become almost a school-wide project here at Winter Springs High School. Art students got together, made ceramic scrub jays like this one, and sent them to the legislature as a friendly reminder that they won't give up. Winter Springs students are already sculpting more birds and plans to return to Tallahassee next year to continue their fight for the scrub jay. The Winter Springs students also say they like the scrub jay because it's a good role model as far as birds go. They live in family groups, and the young adult birds actually help the parents raise the baby birds, and we wish the students good luck in their effort.
Yeah, they certainly aren't going to give up, it sounds like.
They're great kids.
This next video shows how the environmental program brings environmental awareness to the entire school.
It was also taken to a local high school today. Some amazing animals were the messengers, and our environmental reporter Dave McDaniel lucked out and tagged along.
I'm so hungry.
They took the show on the road. The Amazing Animals Affection Training Center brought a wide variety of animals, most babies, some full-grown, to visit the bears of Winter Springs High. With help of the animals, the students learned many things. For example, this 3-month-old Bengal tiger, once it is full-grown, will weigh 600 pounds. The students also learned about habitat preservation and how to take care of all kinds of animals, even dogs and cats.
Dignity comes from the northern Siberian region of Russia.
The animals in captivity today are here because if they weren't, they'd be going extinct. And, you know, every time I click my fingers, 1 acre of the rainforest just disappeared. I'll give you an example.
There you go. Good boy.
Well, how about a kiss for me? Good boy. Can you make a face? Show me a Mick Jagger imitation. How's that? Know a little bit more and be more educated about God's creatures here. And for heaven's sakes, let them be just that.
Let them be wild.
Yeah, let them be wild.
On hand and just off stage, students from Winter Springs Special Environmental class. They're eager to do their part to protect their slice of the world, perhaps even as a career.
Maybe I would like to go into it more or learn more about it.
I just want to learn a little more about the society that we're living in and how the animals will affect us in the future.
Many of the students wanted to take some of the cutest of the cute home with them, but they were reminded that wild animals do not make good pets, and that feeding any wild animal around your house just puts them in harm's way. Dave McDaniel, News Channel 2.
Winter Springs High School's environmental program has developed many business partnerships in the past 6 years. Partners include St. Johns River Water Management, Seminole County Nature's Land, the Seminole County Public Works, Seminole County Emergency Management, Gatorland, and many others. Watch this video demonstrating how students actually assist Seminole County Natural Lands with their species surveys.
Some Seminole County High School students hit the dusty trail today to learn more about their environment and what it's going to take from kids their age to preserve it.
News Channel 2's Dave McDaniel tagged along to bring us tonight's environmental report.
It's always neat when you find one. Pine snake requires very, very large areas of undeveloped habitat to exist. They might roam over hundreds of acres. They can't really exist in an urban environment.
The Chuliota Wilderness Preserve seemed like the perfect place.
Almost an adult. He's almost full grown. They don't get very big.
Kris Cole's environmental class from Winter Springs High School helped set traps Tuesday so they could help the county see what could be found a day later, naturally roaming the wilderness.
Over a longer period of time, we'll be able to look at that data and see if we're doing a good job managing the habitat, as long as we're maintaining that biodiversity. He's large and he's plump, like a barking tree frog. Again, they're dependent on this high, dry habitat, which is, of course, perfect for another species we know, humans. Grip it.
Ooh,
big cockroach. Just a big woods roach.
The students left the wilderness area not only with a better appreciation about our environment and how to protect it, but with interesting views on the development future in Central Florida. They realize we all need places to live, but
I think we just have to can't overdevelop. We just have to keep a good mix.
Can learn about the environment so that they can know like how many developments they can have and like how much is too much, and they can learn how to take care of it so our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren can have an environment like this.
This is a fairly small one. They get about that big.
Environmental education and preservation. Exactly what the county's Natural Lands program is working to do.
Thank you.
Dave McDaniel, News Channel 2.
Winter Springs High School was the first high school in the state and second high school in the nation to implement a community emergency response team program. It has been so successful that FEMA has articles about Winter Springs High School's CERT program attached to its webpage. We have even had inquiries from administrators in charge of Homeland Defense from other school districts contact for information about this program. Check this out.
Well, if you thought you saw a fire at Winter Springs High School today, you were not seeing things. Several blazes were set, but to teach sophomores in the environmental awareness class just what to do.
These students have taken the initiative to learn about disasters. More importantly, they're willing to become part of the solution. News Channel 2's education reporter Kathy Marsh tells us, after 14 hours of training in the classroom, they're ready to help.
A fire at Winter Springs High School with students responsible for putting it out. Their weapon, a fire extinguisher.
Go ahead and walk in. Sweet. Stop.
Sophomore Danny Iglesias is one of 25 teens training to become a member of Seminole County's Community Emergency Response Team.
You just got to sweep at it. I mean, it goes out fast if you get straight to the bottom, but it was like really hot.
This exercise, combined with many others, will allow these students the chance to help their community in crisis times, during home fires, hurricanes, tornadoes, you name it.
I like helping people. My mom's a nurse, and it's kind of wore off, if you want to say that.
In addition to learning how to put out fires, kids involved in the CERT training program learn much, much more.
The first CERT lesson we learned about hurricane survival and about preparing and taking care of each other during hurricanes and tornadoes and natural disasters.
It came in handy this week. Proof that what you learn in school, you do use in real life. In Seminole County, Kathy Marsh, News Channel 2.
I never did that in school. I drove around in that parking lot, but I never...
Trying to learn how to drive.
I never did any fire extinguishing.
It looked like fun.
The environmental program has been so successful that they were requested by Phillips Petroleum and the National Fish and Game Federation to make a nationwide video for middle schoolers. Here it is.
It might be only a friendly blue bird called a scrub jay, but these students are learning a lot from it and doing their best to make sure it doesn't become extinct.
Probably go on field trips 6 to 8 times a year to different habitats, a chance for them to get out and view Florida's different habitats as we would with any other state, wherever we were. it's an opportunity. They've been introduced to one, and hopefully they'll continue to carry this on and learn more about different species.
We want this bird to be the state bird for Florida, and one of the debates was, you don't see them everywhere. So that's why we make environments like this, hopefully to increase the population of the bird. Therefore, nobody can complain about not having enough anymore.
Certainly puts a name and a face on the things that they're trying to conserve and learn about. It's one thing to look at pictures in a book or even on TV, but it's another thing to go out and actually experience the things firsthand, which is what the students are doing out here.
I didn't know anything about the bird before I started, and then once I got started, I learned so much, but not only about the Florida scrub jay, about my environment, about its environment, about a lot about endangered species, plus we've learned a lot about government. I'm an outdoors person now. I love camping, I love going on hikes, I love doing stuff like this, and this is what started it.
Mr. Cole was the one who really introduced me to the scrub jay and how it was a endangered species and it was an important bird, to our habitat. Now I fell in love with these birds, and I try to come out here when I get time to.
Well, I just like going out into a natural state and being able to, communicate with the animals. I mean, like see them, view them, see how they live. Ever since I started coming out here, it's been something that I've really enjoyed, and I come out a lot.